Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Intel Extreme Masters Europe Qualifier, the final stage for Shenzhen. We're going to find out two players that are going to be moving into the main tournament. Let's jump into our first game here, as we have, spawning up to the top left-hand corner, our red Zerg. It is TargA, and up to the top right-hand corner, we have our blue Terran. It's MMA. This is the first round of the round of 16. It's a double elimination bracket. We're going to have 16 players battling out. It's going to be great. Hi.
You should be a racehorse commentator. That was sick.
I could have done it faster.
We were a little bit rushed because the game was beginning, as you could tell, and we didn't want to miss any action for you. But yeah, you kind of nailed it. You got all the details in there.
I did.
7 Koreans, 8 Europeans, battling it out for those 2 slots. Who's going to get the trip to China?
Yeah, who is going to go to Shenzhen, one of the fastest growing cities in the entire world right now. Looking forward to going to Shenzhen. A little bit more south than Shanghai, where we were previously in the Intel Extreme Masters, but going over to Shenzhen, it's always nice to see new bits of China.
It's going to be a good and hot tournament, that's for sure. So it's
Why do you say hot? Why do you say that, Sean?
It's going to be extremely hot in the middle of China in the middle of July. It's going to be a hot tournament for sure. We got a 12 pool and gas coming out from TargA to really open things up here. And
wow.
This is good against multiple different openings that MMA could go for, and we are going to see a command center first. If it's on the low ground, he's as good as dead almost. If it's on the high ground, he would technically have a wall to help against this. But with the gas coming down so early, this can be circling speed. He can go all the way up towards Baneling Nest as well. But TargA is going to have a very good time.
Yeah.
It's best of 3, the first map.
Looks like it. And again, guys, do remember it is that double elimination bracket, just in case you didn't catch everything I said at the beginning. So at least if we do see one of these players lose, they'd get themselves a second chance, which is always nice. Barracks is going to be added on for MMA, as is normal. And where are our Zerglings? Overlord. Pop.
Yeah, he'll wait, I guess. He might even drone up a little bit more and then just get the best kind of income he can get.
Yeah.
And then start his link production. Because if he starts it now, he's got a long way to wait until speed is done. Oh, he's going to go straight into it.
Yeah, okay. He's going to bank up a lot.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot. And this is going to be a big, big surprise. Very big surprise.
Especially since MMA has absolutely no clue where his opponents spawn, never mind anything else. So this Overlord's going to get over there for TargA, have a little bit of a look, see what's going on. And then all is going to be good from there.
I'm not sure if he can hold this. He's going to be kind of hard-pressed, to be honest.
He's not going to have any... Well, he'll have maybe like 1 or 2 Marines at max. And he was getting gas during all of this with MMA, so he's not even making a Marine yet. He needs to make a Marine. There we go.
Well, even if he has a Marine, he's only going to have a couple. And TargA now knows, well, will do in a second here, where his opponent is.
And he sent the
and the Lings are up there anyway, so he's like gambled a little bit in the way that he sent them and now has them up there ready to go. And he's going to surprise MMA. And MMA does not have a bunker. He's got no idea where his opponent is. He's not scouting. TargA's just going to win this one. Yeah. He can't stop this. I mean, even if he starts to build a wall in the next couple of seconds, the wall could get broken as well.
Oh.
He's in so much trouble.
Wow.
So much trouble.
Center. All right, well, let's just throw a complete caution to the wind, MMA, and try something.
This is interesting.
Ooh.
I mean, he's going to pull the Marines out of position here, but maybe that was a little bit ambitious with the Overlord there.
Yeah. Ends up dying, so that's going to supply block him. Can't get any extra Lings, but I think these Lings just kind of kill him anyway. Yeah. That's a lot of Lings.
I mean, there is a wall, though, now.
There is?
There is a wall, so he needs to get in there ASAP before it's constructed, before it can be repaired.
That's true. And they're going to go straight into the initial SCV. Try and bring down this bunker. That's the squishiest target here because he can't really get full surface area on the initial supply depot. Needs to wall off fully, but that's...
Oh, he's walled off again.
Actually, that's a really good quick supply depot there.
But the command center's going to go down.
Oh, and that's a big hole. All right.
He's got a wraparound on the Marines here. There is no other units. Yeah. He's in the main. There is no units.
Trying to finish that factory quickly so he can get some Hellions out or something, but...
Yeah, even if one Hellion pops out, MMA's in a lot of trouble, and there's a lot of Lings still coming across the map. Remember, TargA did get that supply bot, which hurt this attack a little bit, but... Yeah. Oh, man.
11 workers dead. How many more will die? They're trying to get to the Hellion.
Yeah, he's trying to kill as many SCVs before the units stop popping out, and he has done a pretty good job at that.
Yeah.
But look at the difference in workers already.
Yep, 18 to 13. Actually going to clean that up better than I expected.
7
I thought he was going to die.
Though.
Yeah.
I mean, he is dead.
There you go. GG. Wait.
Yeah.
All right. TargA takes game number 1 here. Fast and furious, just like our intro.
Yes.
That's game number 1 done.
Yeah, game number 1 done. This is a best of 3, and it is also a double elimination bracket, so MMA not completely out of it yet, but TargA, who has a Nation Wars game to play soon, is looking to finish this one fast against MMA, and, well, he definitely started it that way.
Yeah, we envisaged maybe there would be a delay in the brackets because, you know, these guys have to play multiple things, but if TargA's going to play games out like that, maybe not. Maybe this will just fly through. King Stage on Station will be our second map.
That was a big blind counter there. And MMA obviously is always going to be, any player would be frustrated with that if some guy goes for an all-in. But at the same time, it's MMA's semi-fault for not scouting. He did open up very greedy, command center to the low ground, third command center very fast. So, you know, he played into TargA's hands, which worked out very well for TargA.
Yeah, tried to hold it off with the, it was a nice attempt at a second wall at least, but in the end didn't really work out. Not only do we have these 2 guys in the tournament, but we have players like MC, First, Yoda, Jack G, all in this. So it's a really, really strong, deep lineup. Wellmu, Slivko, Happy in there. So lots of games going to be going on. Let's get into game number 2 for our first series, as we have spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner our red Zerg, currently 1 game up. It is TargA. And up to the top left-hand corner our blue Terran, Acer, MMA.
If MMA loses in today's qualifier and doesn't get top 2, if he loses pretty fast in this tournament, I think we can call this one of his most unsuccessful trips to Europe ever.
Yes, that's true.
Having lost in the WCS just last week and now playing in this, he does still have Home Story Cup around the corner. So, I mean, there's that, but it's not the best of starts, is it, so far?
No. I mean, the consolation prize is that at least if he did well at Home Story Cup, it does award some WCS points, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's not really something you want to be relying on. You want to go deep in WCS tournaments.
Yep.
So, TargA's going to play this one out a little bit more slow.
Yeah, I think he'll take the advantage against MMA here. I mean, TargA's actually pretty good, so...
Yeah.
He doesn't need to win like the way he did, but it was a good start to the series, and it's already changed MMA's opening from Command Center first to the Reaper opening here. TargA looking for a proxy barracks in case MMA was trying to equalize as fast as he could. I think he did that in WCS too, equalized in a losing position like this.
So that's good scouting there from TargA just in general, and good attempt at reading his opponent, but MMA's having none of that on the other side of the map, just adding on his gas. He's already got his barracks positioned in such a way that a reactor can eventually be added very quickly, so it's all right for MMA.
Actually, I'm starting to believe what a lot of pros are saying now, and I've believed it in a while, actually. I really think that there's a slight edge to Zerg here in this matchup overall.
Yeah, I think so.
The heavy Mutalist play. I mean, against Mech, you've got the good old Mutalist Swarm Host play. As long as you kill the Terran player before he gets that ultimate army, I think you're pretty good. And then in just standard games, Mutalist heavy play and heavy Baneling play is so hard to play against, which is why we've been seeing a lot of, I suppose we can say, evolution in the matchup, when we've seen a lot of bio and mech and bio and mixes and just a complete mess around from the drawing board of Terran players, because they're trying to figure out what's best to deal with it.
So when you say there's an edge to Zerg, would you say it's like a 55-45 split, or would you say it's like even more severe than that?
It's like 53-48.
Okay, so it's not
like
it's not the biggest of differences.
47. Goddamn math on camera. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like that. 53-47.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's not a big one, but I definitely think it's there.
Okay.
But skill usually overwrites a lot of that anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at the top kind of level between two players, but whatever.
And then if you Maru, you can just cheese every game and win still anyway, because he's Maru and he's God. So.
8lings, speed order on its way. 8lings is a lot here.
It is quite a lot.
It is a lot of lings.
Yeah, I was expecting less than that, but normally you just see the 4 to kind of counteract this play.
Yeah, and sometimes 6, but very rarely 8 here.
Really good control there by MMA. Doesn't no. Oh.
But hopefully, if TargA can keep these lings alive, he's already lost 1. If he can keep them alive, then he can deal with... He doesn't need to build any more lings until the Hellions are out, pretty much. But it's a good scout by TargA. He's going to see the 3rd command center just about. I think he saw it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, no.
No,
Didn't go in.
Just outside.
He could have got in, because it's not like the barracks is producing anything for a while.
Yeah, usually Zerg players like to go in and see the third command center there or not, and also like to see if the second gas is there. But he didn't get that info, which is a little bit surprising.
Yep. So he's just going to sit around the natural for now, perch himself up on this ledge, and then probably be annoyed by Marines who are going to try and surround him later on. But aside from that, the speed's going to be finishing up for TargA. Do you think TargA goes for something kind of like a little bit of a higher eco bust or something like that, or do you think he just plays this out longer?
Probably plays that longer.
Yeah?
He's actually going to get caught with his Overlord here. The Overlord pokes in to see if the barracks has a tech lab on it, but it actually has a Marine poking out to threaten. But that's actually a little bit alarming, because why wasn't there a tech lab straight away on the barracks to build stim? So is there a starport down somewhere? Is he thinking along some other line? So he's pretty much in the dark at this point, because he didn't get that scout of inside the main base or second gas. So it's a little bit worrisome for TargA, because he doesn't really know what's going on in this game. But overall, he set up quite well. Good drone count, the third base coming down, good queen counts. Yeah,
just getting that creep spread going, establishing his third as well. MMA setting up for a standard like Hellion Reaper poke out eventually over to that third.
And TargA's getting ready for a counter when these units move out, which is nice.
That's very well prepared.
Yup.
So can poke on in. Oh, but MMA is going to start walling off with engineering base.
Yeah, double engineering base should be. Still a hole in the middle unless he builds a bunker.
Hellions might...
supply depot.
Oh, wow. He's actually been really good about those Zerglings, because with the Overlord at the front, he kept an eye on those two Hellions moving out and pulled those Lings back.
And he sees a wall as well, so it's, you know, can't really do anything there.
Yeah.
He's relying on only Queen defense here, so he's actually quite strong on the edge of creep, but if these Hellions were to ever decide to run past, Queen's aren't exactly going to catch up to the drone line, right? So it is a little bit risky, but it's also quite good here for TargA, because if they don't run past, he doesn't build any units. He's only got Queens. It's a good defense, and his drones are just escalating. Look at that. 8 more drones to already 51 with only Queen defense.
Yeah, that is a lot, that's for sure. I guess he felt that those Lings kept him well and truly stable early on, and, well, the poke forwards did attempt to happen up there, but didn't really do anything. So
I really like TargA's position. You know, he's got a good creep spread. He's played nice and greedy with his drone count. His evolution chambers and Bailing Nest is coming in. He hasn't rushed a layer. He's didn't kind of scout what was going on, but has played the best to what is going on without scouting, so he's got a bit of a luck there as well.
And what's really nice is he never neglected the creep going up the right-hand side as well, which is really cool to see, because it's going to give him extra vision later on, it's going to give him extra mobility later on. MMA is probably wanting to clear that out, though.
This is just overall really good for TargA. I mean, if there was Cloak Banshees, he could have been in trouble. If there's Blue Flame Hellions, he could have been in trouble. If there was Armory, he could have been in trouble. There's a lot of things he could have been in trouble with if MMA chosen to do it, but he hasn't done anything special. And TargA's getting away with the position he's in.
Yeah, well, that was a really great scan there by MMA, clearing up all of that on the right-hand side. So it alleviates a little bit of the troubles he could have later on in the game, whilst TargA's adding on Macro Hatch, so a lot of Lings and Banelings going to be flooding out for him very soon.
He's really powered up, let's say.
Yeah.
Really powered up nicely.
His income looks good. MMA now takes his third base, so his income's going to look all right as well, with the addition of the Armory and extra upgrades once the 1-1 finishes. So he's doing all right in terms of his upgrades, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely still favoring TargA's position. It is an advantage, but not something too big. And little mistakes like the supply bot we see from MMA is going to slow him down to an already accelerated TargA. So, you know, continuing to like his position here in this game number 2.
Yeah, good creep spread on this left-hand side. Really controls the space and makes it hard for the third to ever be pressured by these Hellions. MMA would be very hard-pressed to really break in there, whilst TargA now, with Centrifugal Hooks on the way, he's setting up his main staple army with the Spire coming down as well. So it's going to get scary here for MMA if he doesn't find a hole or weakness.
Well, without Medivacs here as well, MMA could risk losing a lot of units here if he's not careful. With a good wraparound and with Banelings, without speed on creep still good, he's got to be careful, very careful.
Kills quite a few of these creep tumors in the middle. That's a nice start here for MMA. Doesn't necessarily know about this base down to the left-hand side, but I'm not sure he could really do a whole lot there with these Banelings now amassing and morphing in.
Yeah, good denial of creep spread, but also very good from TargA to go respread it straight away.
Yep.
And there is a small window of opportunity for MMA with his 2 upgrades being a little bit in the lead, but he still hasn't really slowed TargA down at all, which is a little bit worrisome.
TargA positioning himself in the main base. Knows that this push is coming. He sees that everything, all the movement with a creep tumor. Even brought all of his queens back. MMA here. This is quite an ambitious move considering everything was visible, very visible. Focuses down a medevac with those queens. Doesn't get it in the end, but pushes that away.
There is another set of units on the left-hand side. MMA distracting TargA. If MMA gets to this 4th, which is undefended and all the units inside the main base, this is a very good move from MMA. Very good, actually. And this puts him in the lead if he's... Well, he's going to kill this, I think. So this will put him in the lead.
Yep, might even get anything else with that as well.
Yeah, that's a nice move. Really distracted TargA. TargA was focused on the right-hand side, and he got beaten up on the left.
I mean, this is kind of the MMA we know and love, right? The guy that is just going to hit in multiple locations, really start stringing you around across these locations. Even with TargA having the great creep spread and thus extra mobility, it still wasn't enough to counteract that play.
No, that was nice, and that's a little bit unfortunate there for TargA, because I think he had a great start in this game, but he's starting to fall behind quite drastically.
Banelings rolling forwards, pick up all the Marines and run away. But
even on the left side again, MMA's, you know...
And gets the kill, not only the cancel. TargA, though, is killing off that army on the right-hand side. There's 1 or 2 Banelings left in here. MMA's going to have to control right. And good focus fire. Wow. That was very nice.
And with losing the 4th base like this, as much as TargA still has 800 gas in the bank, that's only 8 Mutalisks. It's not that much if you think about it in that regard. And he needs to really be able to have a high Baneling count as well as a high Mutalisk count. And he's going to have a hard time being able to get high amounts of both being kept away from his 4th base. And MMA is going to continue to put the pressure on to trade, to force the issue, the weakness of TargA in this game currently, which is that gas income.
Yeah, I mean, TargA has basically tried to set himself up, even with all the overlords on the left and right-hand side of this map, to deal with drops, but MMA has just been pushing on the ground with 2 forces that have just gone completely uncontested. To be honest with you, the one on the right-hand side was cleaned up for a while, but it's just going to continue. MMA's playing a great game.
Yeah, and he has a 4th command center about to be taken now, so MMA's very happy with the position he's in. He's got a drop or a set of units on the right-hand side here. He's going to take the middle base, which does not have creep on it, so it's going to be easy to plant and build a planetary fortress and a turret or something. And he's controlling this really, really well. Really well, because he's got a pincer on that 4th base without creep being there.
Killing off this small army on the right. Mutalisk is going to chase down those medevacs, and MMA just establishing over at this left-hand side. He's doing, you know, he's doing all right for himself.
TargA's going to launch an attack on this middle base now.
Yeah,
there are 2 mines. There's not a lot of mines. Planetary Fortress, if that finishes, will help. But TargA's going to go for this now. If he lands a correct fight here on this 4th, then he's in really, really good shape. And MMA sees it. He has Xel'Nagarta on the right-hand side. He sees the Banelings being morphed. He's getting ready for this.
That's a lot of Zerglings and Banelings trying to flood forward. So even if they can soak up the Widow Mines, that would help out considerably. Banelings crash through, but the split on the left-hand side wasn't that amazing. So TargA now actually doing really, really well for himself. Even more Banelings coming on through. And this is going to die.
Whoa!
It
worked out for TargA.
Yeah.
He did trade off a lot of Banelings there to get that done, but he did kill the Planetary, which was a big win. And look at MMA supply. TargA came in from multiple angles. He's got his own 4th base up now, TargA. That was a good fight. That's a really, really good fight that he just took.
Ambitious Banelings cancel the morph in, and we have a few more on the high ground as well.
Yeah, it does need more Banelings here.
Yeah,
but remember, 3-3's about to complete as well, so as much as that was a good fight, that brings him back into the game, but it doesn't put him in the lead or, you know, pushes him at a great lead for sure, because with 3-3 finishes, and that's still a lot of units there that MMA has, and it was a large investment to be able to destroy that middle base. Definitely found himself in a better position, but still in hard times, I feel.
Like, he would have needed to find a room to morph in the hive or something like that during all that, right?
Yeah, and he still is without proper income from that 4th, so he's not able to rise up to a high Mutalisk and Baneling count himself, but the next fight's going to be quite strong for MMA for sure.
Mutalisks trying to dive into these turrets. They only have +1 weapons so far, but they do kill them quite quickly. I'm going to dive on out there because it gets a little bit hazardous.
All right, 3-3's done.
Yeah, this is going to hurt. Unless he lands some really great Banelings, then this is going to hurt. He drops his cannon. He knows how many Banelings are there. Maybe he doesn't want to push just yet, because that is quite a lot of Banelings, but he's also dropping in the main base, which is a great move here by MMA.
Another good move. Shows one army at the front, distracts, and then drops somewhere else. Pulls his attention one way while dropping in the other. And that's quite good, because now, obviously, TargA's attention's in the main base. Where's MMA now? Moving forward.
Yep. He has the support of Widow Mines as well. There goes the creep to keep pushing forwards, and he does see the positioning of that army, so he can position himself equally to try and deal with it. But again, Splits and 3-3 is going to do quite a lot against this. TargA setting himself up on the left-hand side with a lot of Zerglings and Banelings to try and move forwards here, but the Widow Mines have burrowed. How much are they really going to do? Not a huge amount against a lot of that. But the Mutalisk...
3 upgrades.
Yeah, you're going to have to fall back. That's too much firepower.
Yeah, and another morph of units, I suppose, will come in, but this is looking more and more difficult for TargA to achieve a win.
Jeez, 14 Marines just rallied forward at any given time. Picks up the Thor, saves it, gets a nice volley off on those Mutalisks as well.
Yeah, you're not going to stop those Marines. There's only 3 Banelings with 4 getting morphed.
Yeah, this is getting scary for TargA. Game number 1 went nicely for him, but game number 2 in a drawn-out situation escalated out of control.
Yeah, this is... There's no Banelings. There's only a couple just got morphed in, and they probably get shot down before they get close.
Really good control by MMA. Really good control. A few Banelings on the left-hand side here do actually get the connections they want, but all the Mutalisks decide to clump up. GG. Those Javelin missiles bring them out in the skies, and MMA ties up the series 1-1.
1-1 indeed. So going to be going to game number 3, and that was quite a nice game actually between both.
Yep.
Definitely thought though that TargA was being out multitasked a little bit, being able to, you know, get dropped in his main, get dropped on his 4th, or at least an army moving towards his 4th, and that really hurt him for the majority of it. And I think that, well, that is the main reason why he was behind for the majority of that game. Just losing that 4th is too big of a deal.
Oh, well, next map is actually going to be Habitation Station, and if we can recall back to what MMA actually did in WCS here.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
lifted the command center to the gold. I'm gonna take a guess. And I'm saying that he's not going to do that again because that,
good.
You know, it cost him his first game in WCS.
Yes, it did.
So I wouldn't think he'd do that again.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
There's
anyway.
no reason. I mean, look at what he just did. There's no reason. I mean, that was the biggest complaint of, you know, MMA fans when he did it in WCS. Is there's no reason to do that. You can play a normal game. You're good enough.
All right. Well, as you can probably hear, the countdown's finished. We're going to be getting into game number 3 in a second. Again, guys, this is the Intel Extreme Masters Shenzhen Europe qualifiers. It's a double elimination bracket. 2 players will advance on to Shenzhen at the very end of July. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right, let's jump into things as we have spawning up to the top left-hand corner our red Zerg. It is TargA. And up to the top right, we have our blue Terran not flying to the goal. It's Acer MMA.
I didn't think he'd do that again. I think he learned his lesson last time. So he may open up Reaper here, and the reason why I say that is because of TargA is more than capable of these wacky builds, and it is good to get that Reaper out to see if it's coming, because you then can deal with it okay. Command Center first is not the best on this map. It's such a small map, where if he tried Command Center first, I think that TargA could even react and then be able to defeat it.
Yeah.
Vortex has done that a lot against Terran players who open up Command Center first.
Yep. That Overlord gets over there pretty darn fast, that's for sure. So, gonna see what's gonna happen. But for now, though, no craziness out of TargA just yet. Sends out a Drone Scout. Huh.
Yeah, Drone Scout in case MMA is looking for 2 Rex. He's a Korean Terran after all, and it's MMA. Ooh, MMA's barracks placement.
Ooh.
He might go Command Center first. I mean, barracks Command Center, but get Marines.
Yeah.
Because the Overlord, so think through TargA's vision. He's going to come over, see a missing barracks or Command Center. Then in his head, the first thing is this 2 Rex? Did I miss it? Is this Command Center first? So if it's 2 Rex, then his drone will probably go out again or something. And if he thinks it's Command Center first, his Overlord will fly down to the Command Center. And MMA will look to catch that Overlord with Marines.
This is clever.
Yeah, it's a really nice move, and I'm feeling that, you know, MMA wouldn't do this if he didn't believe he could catch the Overlord. So I think he's going to get this Overlord.
All right, well, MMA now setting himself up pretty
TargA
nicely.
sees, he's like, oh, is it 2 Rex?
Yeah.
Throws the spawn and pull down immediately. He's having a look with his Overlord down the bottom left. Remember that that SCV going down is a little bit long too.
Yeah, it's like, where is he going, of all ways? Oh, that was so clever by him to actually send it towards the ramp and then pull it back.
There's the Marine. He's like,
oh, that was really, really clever. Just everything lined up really nicely there for MMA.
Can he get the Overlords? I think he can.
He needs to
Yeah, he
run
should be able
around.
to. He can go around. It's fine. It's actually like airtight on that side.
Yeah, it's hard.
So you can't run away.
He might start bouncing up here, though, like bouncing between that, but he's going to try at least. He's going to try because he knows his opponent thinks it's going to be heading down there, so he's going to try and get over here. I think he gets away. I think he gets away.
Oof.
Nice.
Wow.
That was close. That was close.
That was close. And TargA survives that overlord. MMA definitely thought he could get that. A little bit unlucky, I suppose, but well done by TargA.
Double gas being added on for MMA.
Yeah, so double gas means he'll be going up to Hellions and the reactor on the barracks very soon. And I would imagine that with double gas, you usually go into like a starport or something afterwards because double gas is a lot. Obviously, in a regular build, you only get one gas. So double, which has been spotted by that overlord, which was meant to be killed, is a good scout.
Yeah, it's very nice. So now TargA behind all of that has just got his double queens popping to go up to eventually 4, one would suspect. He's been high messenger of the idea of just getting a lot of creep out very quickly, which has always been good for him. We saw in the previous game, you know, MMA probably would have killed him off earlier if it wasn't for actually having all the vision in the air as he did.
MMA's getting a bunker because he's not scouted in this game, doesn't know if circling speed is already done, and he could be in trouble if it was. So he's just going to get a bunker and play it a little bit safer. So he shouldn't have as fast of a command center at all. Just because he's got double gas, he'll probably need to add on a starport if he's going to play double gas, and naturally his command center is going to be delayed here. So he has a couple of options. He can go into Cloak Banshee, or he could drop an armory quite fast, and it could be some weird Hellbat play as well with the income that he has from both refineries.
Yeah, I'm wanting really to see more kind of Hellbat use earlier on, like to actually use the armory a bit more. I mean, we saw actually just before MKP of all people actually defeating Curious in Pro League with a kind of like Hellion to Hellbat transition push, and it worked really well by the looks of things.
Widowmine drop. This is MMA's used this a couple of times before. I like this, especially especially because we saw last game that TargA was heavy queen and late layer. I'm not sure if MMA realized that because this is a build that MMA just does anyway. But TargA is not going to have a good time against these Widowmines. Okay, spores have been added on.
Wow, okay.
I think that's more so an anticipation of potentially Cloak Banshees because he's seen the double gas, but they will work against these Widowmines as well.
Yes,
but this is a nice drop. I like this drop.
All right, so here comes the attempt. Is he?
Oh, he's going to avoid all overlords.
Yeah.
And Xel'Naga tower range.
Oh wait, I think he strays into this one. So just barely does stray into that. Turns though, might not have been spotted there, but the creep spread in the main is good here for TargA. That will help out a little bit. And then doesn't even react a huge amount anyway. He can see that Widowmine and kills off quite a few drones. That wasn't expected.
4 drones.
Yeah.
Nice drop. Really good drop. Very effective.
Yeah, and those Hellions in the third base as well, trying to kill off any workers. So 5 workers in total. Viking on this right-hand side eventually killed off that wounded Overlord.
Interesting Baneling Nest quite early on here.
You think he wants to go for something a bit more aggressive, or he's just going to kind of use that to stabilize and keep himself defended?
He's Overlord capped. It's hard to be aggressive.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he could have, but no, not anymore. It's too slow.
Yeah. This Viking actually gets another kill, which is nice. He could try and get another kill down here, but TargA was realizing that, pulls those back, moving his Zerglings into a defensive posture.
Yeah, this drop has done a lot. If you just look at MMA's infrastructure back at home, is beautiful behind this drop, which is, I mean, he's killed Overlords with the Vikings. He's got a couple of drone kills here and there. He got a big detonation on a set of Lings. And behind this double engineering bay working away, he's got 3 command centers. He's got all his barracks finishing up.
A few Banelings morphing in, though, with 20 more Lings on the way.
Okay, so he is going to go for it. Yeah, look at this. He's going to try it.
This is ambitious with only 5 Banelings and that many Zerglings. Oh, he actually lets him in anyway. All right, then. Well, actually, that did quite a bit of damage.
That did a lot of damage. And he needs to create a wall straight away because there are more Lings coming.
Yeah, there are.
Right before the barracks properly turn on as well.
Jeez, that couldn't have been better for him considering that he didn't have a huge amount of units.
Yeah, he has Hellions in that drop coming back to help out.
Needs to break through. He will eventually.
Yes, stem, remember. And it's only Lings, though. I mean, only Lings is not ideal.
Yeah. Although he's having to combat with these SCVs. That's a lot of SCVs fighting,
3
though.
command centers, and he can lose all these SCVs and still be fine.
Yeah. He's got 45 to 38 workers during all of that. That was a lot of lava investment for TargA that really didn't pay off.
No, that attack didn't work. And now it's 1-1. There's the armory finish. He can go to 2-2. The evolution chambers haven't been used yet. TargA's in a lot of...
he's trying to spread the creep everywhere, but it's all good and dandy if you have a lot of creep, but not really that useful if you spot your opponent's fight army and you don't have an army yourself to combat it, right? So some of this creep's going to be cleaned up as well.
And with these 1-1 Marines with combat shields, they're not going to be stopped easily either.
Yep, Transfuse is trying to go down. One of the Queens actually died during all of that. He didn't even land the Transfuse on it. Focuses down the medevac, which is a nice little pickup there. So for a Queen, that wasn't too bad, but he lost a lot of energy for Transfuses for the eventual follow-up pushes. And this Viking's still on a rampage. 3 kills now.
Yeah, this is not looking too good for TargA. I mean, at the end of the day, that Baneling attack just didn't do anything for him. And MMA's got drop capability here. The Spire's a long way from completing, so it's not really going to be stopped very easily. Behind this, there's a big army being built here for MMA. He has missed up on his +2 armor, which would help a lot.
He's going to try and drop in once again. Another Overlord down to the south, now under fire. And MMA, he's set up really nice. That first game was really just a blip on the radar right now, if we consider how well he's doing here.
It is MMA after all.
Yeah. I mean, in essence, these last 2 games have been like a different MMA to how we saw him actually playing in WCS. Unfortunately, he got a bit bopped there.
Well, the next attack is coming in, and this is with Widow Mines, with more Medivacs. This one's going to be quite hard to stop. Baneling speed's not quite done either.
Ooh.
So it's going to be hard for him to engage into these Marines and get the right detonations. MMA's really stopped any counterattacks as well because he has a bunker and Marines to go in at any point. Second factory on the way, these upgrades. Ooh, this is... TargA's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, this Viking spots the base going down to the left-hand side. A small push did get pushed back in the middle.
Yeah.
And MMA now is just setting up a nice position. I mean, these Widow Mines are going to control so much space.
Yeah, this is going to be hard for him to get in to fight this properly.
Yeah, I mean, it's, in essence, not that many Marines, but it's the Widow Mines that really hurt him here.
All gas is being spent on Mutalisk and Banelings, which is not 2 to upgrade, so even if he stops this attack, it's going to be hard.
Just needs to pick up and get out of there. He focuses down some of the Banelings during all of that in a very strong fashion. Or at least either they did or they were on a Widow Mine. Regardless of the fact, they've still got wasted. Cleaning this up with Medivacs, the Mutalisk won't be too bad, but still, MMA's probably macroing it back at home, and he was clearing creep in the middle during all of that. He knew it was going to die, so why not find value elsewhere, I guess?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And at the end of the day, he stops that 4th base again, which was what was one of the biggest points in that previous game on Sejong Station. Another drop will prevent that 4th again from being built. And now the +2 attack's done. +2 armor's on its way. 12 more Banelings and 60 more Lings. That's a lot. TargA may try to go for a kill. If he's able to, kill off a couple of units and then counter-attack, I guess there's a chance. And maybe that's his only chance.
Grabs himself the cancel, which is all right. Leaves the Widow Mine here. The 2 Widow Mines, actually. You know, if he actually picked up and went away, left those Widow Mines there, technically they would deny, but this is already denying it anyway. But he does run the risk now of losing some of these units, because the Mutalisks are still there. So got to be careful with this. Obviously, actually flies in. Wow, okay, that Widow Mine did a lot of damage to those Marines. So that was a bit of a blunder there for MMA, just through TargA's control in the end. But MMA now constantly pushing through the middle and killing off that creep. He just does not let up.
Yeah, he does not let up. He's really not going to let go of his advantage in this game. Every fight he takes is going to be so much more cost efficient for him too because of these upgrades and the lead he's established. TargA, as equal as he is in supply, needs to be much higher than that. He should not be fighting with equal supply against an opponent who has better upgrades and all these mines that are in his army. There's no way for him to stop the 4th. That attack early on still kind of haunting him. It's cursed him for the rest of this game.
It has. These Mutalisks now still surveying the area down to the south, trying to figure out if it's safe to take. And it is, making sure there's no Widow Mines there, whilst MMA, though, all of his attention is still focused through the middle, still continuing to deny the creep. Getting even a Mutalisk or two is a nice start here for MMA.
And MMA is going to go down to the bottom again, just splitting TargA's attention, and also kind of working on the emphasis that TargA is low on supply and doesn't have the biggest of army. And
even
it is difficult to spread his attention. That was a nice fight, of course. Nice little clear up, but at the same time, this other side is more important. Look at this bunker that MMA's building.
Why not, I guess. if you've been controlling the middle of the map for this long.
That is quite funny, that bunker.
Yeah, he's just pressuring this, denying any kind of income from happening. He's dropping in the main base. He's pushing at the fourth as well. Now it's time to work on the Spire. If he got that, then geez, all hell would break loose.
He's looking for the kill here to push TargA down to the lower bracket here in this double elimination tournament.
He's playing faster than I can observe. This is ridiculous. He's just pressuring at 3 locations at once is something that when you're watching a really good Terran play, it's a beauty to watch. And he gets this base as well.
And then while doing that, he's getting his 4th up and running, adding on more units, adding on extra production, continuing to upgrade. A lot of things all at once here. Unfortunately, oh, no, wait, no, yes, no.
Oh,
no, never mind. That drop's not going to get stopped.
So a lot of Zerglings and Banelings, but even that can't counteract the fact that this army is just gathering too much momentum, too much speed. I mean, he's macroed out, he's maxed out, and this is going to be difficult. 3-3 is about to finish as well. What are you supposed to do?
I got a new meaning to MMA.
Yeah?
Multi-madness army. That's what he is, man.
The multi-madness army.
The multi-madness army.
Sounds like a game show. I'm loving it. All right, well, MMA still pushing forwards. These Mutalisks having to scramble for their lives. That is a big, big army now plowing through this location. Banelings. Okay, actually, that wasn't too bad for TargA there, the initial engagement. Even coming in with some of the Banelings at the back.
That's a good fight by TargA.
Yeah.
Good fight by him. Really well done there.
So he will push this away for a little bit and actually takes the supply advantage, but now he's got to be scared of the fact that there's going to be like 50 Marines in production at any time. So.
Yeah, he's going to try and catch and capitalize on some of these units that were destroyed there. That was a very good fight for TargA.
Yeah.
Couldn't have really wished for better. But the problem still remains is that his income's quite low because he still has not got a full...
What is this?
This little trap.
He's like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, his income's still low. Without that 4th base, it's the same problem that he was encountering previously, where he cannot go hive, he cannot morph a lot of Banelings, and he cannot really increase his Mutalisk count by a lot. So this next attack, again, because MMA's been able to keep his income at the same rate throughout all of the game, and he's about to go to the gold soon as well. So, you know, he's always, if not keeping the income the same, he's increasing it. So it just keeps on getting harder and more difficult for TargA to break through here to not just beat an army, but be able to slow MMA down.
Unless these Mutalisks can get a huge amount done, it's going to be difficult. I really love the little outpost up to the watchtower. It's like where he rallies all of his supply to and then just kind of keeps pushing forwards. It's really cool. Behind enemy lines almost.
But TargA does have a 4th now, but he's about to get dropped inside his main again. And that army from MMA is almost ready to go again with a very similar size that he had before, and 3-3 upgrades have been done. And there isn't even the +2 carapace. Yeah, this next fight's going to be probably the hardest one he's going to have to play with in this series.
Yeah, with the Thors mixed in as well, and the fact that they have +2 weapons during all of that. It's really annoying. Widow Mine.
Oh, the Banelings.
Oh, he lost a lot there. He's only got 9 Banelings to his name.
Yeah.
You cleaned up the outpost, but you incurred a lot of losses for it.
I mean, fair play for TargA, who is so far behind. He's been able to, you know, grit his teeth and grind this one out for a long time here. 3 minutes into the game, but he's still in a losing position and isn't quite being able to find himself in a win one. He's trading, he's keeping equal, but he needs to stop MMA's income. And that's what I guess the Mutalisks are going to do if they can get to that gold base. There's only 2 turrets currently. Oh, he's actually going to go inside the main. Yeah,
get on top of the infrastructure, kill off the add-ons, I guess, but is that really going to do a whole lot when your opponent's army is, like, ready to pounce? I mean, maybe force some weird base trade, but I don't know. There's a contamination, not too bad. The creep hasn't been allowed past the halfway mark during this whole game. Despite TargA being so strong about spreading it,
that
he
was
just hasn't been allowed.
Actually killed off a lot of those Marines inside the main.
And a little bit of a drop down to the south as well. How many workers has he killed? It's unbelievable, actually, that he's only killed 16 workers during this whole game, considering how much pressure he's been putting on.
I mean, TargA's getting his Mutalist count up. There's 8 more Mutas. There's that Carapace upgrade finishing up soon and that +2 attack. He's still going to have a hard time the next time they take a really big fight together when 2 armies collide. But he's doing a lot of small things which are helping out and, you know, extending his game length.
Yeah.
But I think MMA is getting ready for another fight soon. But these Mutalists are going to avoid that again inside the main base. And that is buying him a lot of time to increase his Baneling count. Maybe we'll even be able to see a high beam built if he's able to buy enough time.
Maybe. But at the same time, if he can have that happen, there's a lot of bases being claimed now by MMA, who is even trying to claim bases on his opponent's side of the map. So, yeah, he's going to lose some of his tech labs and things, but the Marines are coming back to deal with that. And these Marines are holding on strong.
There's a lot of turrets on that gold too.
Oh, wow, yeah. He really wants to protect those Vespene guys that he's currently not using. Sick. You are well defended. All right, so what do we have? +3 weapons for Thor's. High-sec auto-tracking. Wait, no, that's not high-sec auto. Oh, yeah, it is high-sec auto-tracking. So, planetary fortresses for the win, I guess. Over down to the south.
Yeah. And even Starport's been added on a couple more. I think see some potentially Ravens come into this game.
I think MMA is probably a little bit startled at how well TargA's held on.
Yes, he's playing. TargA's doing really, really well. Really well. Just considering the position he's been thrown into. There's not that many medivacs with this army for MMA, which is a little bit worrying. He's only got 2 on the field.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
But he's going to start to launch an attack on this left-hand side. And he's actually going to fortify this location.
God.
That they will be planetaries. They for sure will be. And he's going to really try to stop TargA from mining more. I mean, he is running out of money.
The fact that TargA now sees 2 command centers being built right next to his base, it's got to be worrying. How much of a control MMA has had over the entirety of this game almost is absolutely unbelievable.
All right, TargA takes a good fight. I mean, he's going to come in from multiple directions.
My PC's lagging a little bit. There's so many units on the field. Going to kill off a lot of that on the top right. The reinforcements die, and now this army's kind of stranded.
If he kills off MMA's army that's just kind of sitting there.
Yeah. Planetary fortresses or command centers being built are buying a bit of time for the army to try and flood through in a little bit of a funnel, but that's a lot of Zerg. That is a lot of Zerg.
Yeah, and TargA defeats that army and will destroy this
it's like, no, you don't.
Outpost that he tried to build.
Yeah.
And that's good, because now he can take that base for his own, but 19 Marines.
Jeez.
MMA. And if TargA can break the bottom right as well, well, I mean, he will currently, because there isn't any units there. This is really good for TargA. He definitely should be... Well, he is capitalizing on this opportunity.
Yeah, this is the best thing that could happen here for him, but he's going to be pushed back now by the totally insane reinforcements here by MMA, who at one point, like about a minute ago, was at 130 supply and now is at 182. So instant almost remaxing.
MMA has 13 barracks.
Yeah, because why not?
It's a lot of barracks.
Poor Thor gets isolated and killed off, but the Marines with 3...
I mean, look at the supply difference between them, and that's because MMA can keep building stuff, and TargA is, throughout all of this, been running out of money time after time after time.
Still a lot of Lings and Banelings being added, but again, they only work so well against this army, unfortunately for him. And the Medivacs did start being added on once again, so that's going to add a lot of longevity to this army.
How many Banelings are there?
15.
Yeah. Very strong army that MMA has here again.
Drops the scan, sees almost his opponent's entire army, and all he has to do really is split from here on out. As long as the Thors are focusing down on the Mutalists, which they are, there's really not that many of them left. The Marines on the low ground controlled perfectly to deal with any kind of Banelings that were moving forwards. And there you go, GG, well played, and certainly well played, as that was a damn good game. MMA advances to the next round in the upper bracket.
Yeah, that was really good. That was a good display again. But TargA was able to keep parallel with the kind of the way that MMA was playing throughout all of it, but was never able to jump ahead and take a lead. I mean, it all started and came down to that Baneling attack, but good game. I actually was quite impressed there by TargA.
Yeah, it was good.
To be able to keep it like that with MMA. But MMA advances on a level, and he plays Wellmu next in the bracket.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Wellmu beat out Slivko, I'm guessing. Do we have any more updates from the bracket?
Happy beat 4GG.
Yeah.
2 games to 1. Patience beat Yoda 2-0.
Oh. Hey, that's a good pickup for Patience, considering the unfortunate position he found himself in yesterday.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we are going to go to a break, and then when we're back, we'll find some more awesome StarCraft 2 games for you here from the Intel Extreme Masters Shenzhen Qualifiers.